The following is a Candlepin Stars and Strikes rebroadcast featuring some of our most memorable programs.
Candlepin Stars and Strikes.
Look at this. Look at
Candlepin Stars and Strikes is sponsored in part by Somerville Lumber. Looks good. Looks good. That's the goal. It's a goal. Candlepin Stars and Strikes is produced in conjunction with the New Hampshire Candlepin Bowling Association. And now your hosts, Doug Brown and Dan Murphy.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Park Place Lanes here in Windham, and another 2 hours of Candlepin bowling here on the Winds, beginning, of course, with Stars and Strikes. Hi, I'm Doug Brown, along with Dan Murphy, and this is week 2 of our new series to start the new year, and last week we had a newcomer come on and do a terrific job in his first appearance.
That's right. That Dave Blaine, he bowled very well last week and trying to make it two in a row this week against another pretty fair bowler himself, Roger Beaudin.
All right, let's meet our two bowlers, introduce you to them a little bit here. First of all, our number 5 seed, as Dan said, going for his second straight win from Newport, New Hampshire, Dave Blaine.
Okay, Dave comes in averaging 121, has a high triple of 443, and his roll-off score was 638.
And last week, in case you missed it, Dave had a heck of a match against Mike Ferrante, and Dave put together a 398 in his first appearance on television to win by 18 pins. So now he will go for his second straight win, and he'll face our number 3 seeded bowler from Manchester, New Hampshire, Roger Beaudin.
Okay, and Roger comes in averaging 123. His high triple is 434, and his roll-off score was 658.
A little bit later on in the show, we'll have $40 in our bonus ball contest, and of course, one of these guys will move on to our semifinal program next week. Of course, one of them would hope to put some wins together and qualify for the Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions. We'll tell you a little bit more about that later on, too. And we'll be back for the first of our 3 strings of bowling between Roger Beaudin and Dave Blaine right after these words. Don't go away. All right, in case you missed it last week, our number 5 seed, Dave Blaine, knocked off Mike Ferrante 398 to 380, so Dave gets a shot at Roger Beaudin. The winner of this match comes back for the semifinals next week to face Tom Morgan, and then our number 1 seeded bowler, Steve Vadney, will be here 2 weeks from today for that championship match against the survivor of the next 2 weeks. So here is Dave Blaine. Last week, just an outstanding performance in his first TV effort, a 398 with 15 marks. Bettered his score in each game, a 125, then a 131, and a 142. And he was able to come from behind to win the match.
There's a case where the wood actually cost him the shot. It was in such a way that the ball caromed around the 2-pin. And left the 2-pin standing, got the other 3 pins. Whoever wins this championship is going to earn the title, because we got some great bowlers yet to come. And not to sell these 2 guys short, because they bowl quite well as well. We saw Dave Blaine last week, and Roger Beaudin has been with us before. I want to correct his high triple too. I mentioned it at 434, but it's 450.
450.
450 even.
Right. And the spare for Dave Blaine in the second. And here is Roger Beaudin.
Roger off target a little bit there, leaves himself the 1, 2, 7, and 10. 1, 3, 7, and 10. Piece of wood now that's resting up against the 3-pin.
Roger was with us a few weeks ago in doubles competition. Paired with Steve Lavery, they lost to Jack Sanick and Brian McKinley, who eventually went on to qualify for the doubles tournament of champions.
$10 for Roger, matching Dave Blaine's 10 in the first frame.
Speaking of the tournament of champions, of course, one of the bowlers from this series will advance to join the 3 others that have already qualified. Paul Berger sits on top right now with a 464 qualifying score. Peter Flynn with a 403, and Bob Mazur with a 374, excuse me.
Roger trying to scramble here and get out with a 9 or a 10, and it makes it a 9.
So Dave Blaine with the early lead, and he will add to it with this fill ball in the second frame. Just 4.
2-4 left on the left-hand side, and it's got more problems on the right with a 3, 6, 9, and 10. Look at that.
Oh,
Boy, he jumped the 2-pin between the 3 and the 6, and it came off the wall to clear out the 6 and 9. Can't come much closer without making it. Great effort by Dave Blaine.
and a nice 10.
Watch the 2-pin there, right between the 3 and 6, and comes back and knocks those 2 down.
Back on the head pin again, and again full.
4-7 on the left, 6-10 on the right. Piece of wood in front of both of the pairs of pins. Let's see where he decides to go. Right down the middle.
Ooh, deserved better. Actually made 2 fine shots in these 2 boxes, but didn't get a spare in either one. Nine this time, 43 through 4. Immediately following, at 1 o'clock, we will have Stars and Strikes doubles. Week 2 of our series there as Bill Treifel and Peter Pereira go for their 2nd straight win. They'll face Mike Poulin and Brian Uphold.
3, 5, 6 left for Roger. Triangle, right-hand side. Looking for his first mark. Ooh, just missing the object, which was the 3. And it's 27. 7-pin advantage for Dave Blaine.
Good first ball that time, and Roger will shoot at the 6-10 for a spare. And he's got it.
Just nudging the 6-pin against the wall and off the wall for the 10. And his first spare, first mark, which is a spare.
Dave Blaine in the 5th. And it's the triangle.
He'll shoot at the triangle. 2, 4, 5.
No, off the wall. The 2-pin slices right in front of the 4.
Twice. One's going left and then off the sidewall coming back to the right.
Well, Dave's had a little tough luck. He's made some shots, but hasn't really got the marks to show for it. And he's right through the center again. Judging on how Dave has played these shots to this point, we can expect that he will try and throw the 3 and the 6 over toward the 2, 4, and 7. There he goes. A little too full on the 3-pin that time. He subscribes to the same theory you do.
Yeah. Got that corner pin. There's always a chance of undercutting it and hitting the 7, and then who knows? You see a lot of times that come back. 61 through 6 for Dave Blaine.
You see Roger's previous efforts here on the wins. And that was on a spare and just 5. Same leave, only on the other side that Dave Blaine just had.
Let's see if he goes after the 2-4. No, he elected to go to the right side.
Ooh, and a 6-box. So he still trails by 4 in the match. Roger Beaudin from Manchester, New Hampshire. Works at GTE Sylvania as a machine attendant, does a lot of his bowling at the Londonderry Bowling Center. Roger and his wife Janice have a 14-year-old daughter, Christine, and it just so happens that today is Janice's birthday. So,
all right.
Happy birthday to Mrs. Beaudin today.
Ooh, just sliding by the 3.
The 10 to gain 1 pin and trail by 3.
On her birthday, hope Roger lets her watch Stars and Strikes. That would be a great birthday present, I would think.
Dave Blaine again full on the head pin, which has been his pattern here so far today.
Not time to panic yet because he's hitting the object pin, but after a while you continue getting the splits. You just have to change the angle that the ball's coming in on the pins, and that's either moving left or right on the approach, or forward and back. Just change the angle of the ball coming into the pins.
Dave, unlike most bowlers, I guess I'd have to say, Dan, is a pretty straight ahead approach. He really doesn't go from one side or the other. He lines up pretty much straight on with the head pin. Throws a fairly straight ball. If anything, he goes a little bit to the left.
Yeah, he fades a little bit with his final step on the approach. Looks like he fades to the left. He's got the 4 horsemen left and the 8 pin in the back.
Looking for his second mark, and he's got it.
At first, I thought he was going to leave the 7. I said that'd be a shame because he was right in the 1-2 pocket. But then a pin came flying across from the right-hand sidewall and cleared out the 7. Two, 4, 8 left for Roger. Always tough with the 8 pin in the back.
And a 10 to gain another pin, but now he's opposite a spare. So nice pocket hit that time for Roger, and he's rewarded with the strike.
Just a matter of time before these went down. There goes the 5 and finally the 8, because that ball was right in the 1-3 pocket. Now Dave Blaine will fill the spare in the 8th. His final 2 frames, game number 1.
Just 5 on the mark. Quick reminder that our next taping of Stars and Strikes here at Park Place Lanes in Windham will be this Tuesday, January 12th, day after tomorrow. So if you'd like to join us, we'd love to see you. Park Place Lanes is located right on Route 28 in Windham, New Hampshire, just a few minutes from Interstate 93. Take exit 3. Very easy to find, and we'd love to see it and have you have a chance to watch Stars and Strikes as it is taped live. And on Tuesday, we'll be taping our annual mixed doubles event.
Always a fun time. Dave is looking at the 5, 7, 6, and 10 piece of wood. He tried to catch a little bit of the wood.
Had the right idea, but just didn't quite clip it. Takes the 9 box and a 103. And Roger Beaudin with an opportunity to take the lead. He's working on a strike here. Oh, outside and almost.
That close to a spare on strike.
Does take the lead, though, by 3, with the 10th frame to come. Our presenting sponsor of Candlepin Stars and Strikes, Tri-State Megabucks. Just imagine being rich. You won't win if you don't give it a try. Tri-State Megabucks. Won't be long when getting ready for the Tournament of Champions. Roger Beaudin will not catch a break on the 7-pin.
It was a little too far to the right. However, I thought he still may carry those 2 pins. But the wood was so far out front that just didn't happen for him.
A 9 box, a 106. So just 3 pins the difference after 1 game. Don't go away. We'll be back, and we'll also have details on how you can win our jackpot in the bonus ball contest. Stick around. Roger Beaudin leading the match by 3 and studying this one. Talking about the Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions a moment ago. Do you believe this year will be our 5th?
That's surprising in itself, but it's not far away.
No, it isn't.
This season's been flying by so far.
Look out. Roger right through the center. A 6 box. So an opportunity right away for Dave Blaine to retake the lead. Just 2 marks for each bowler to this point. Dave's right on the head pin, though, most of the time, and this has been the result. He's been a little too full, and that little difference causes this mess, the 7-10.
Well, the further that wood comes out, the better chance he has. Looks like he may have an outside chance. Nope, just behind. The ball flew just behind the 7-pin.
And the 10.
Well, if you're on the head pin the way Dave and Roger both are, it's just a matter of time before they start breaking for him. And again, another difficult split for a spare. 3-6 on the right, 4-7 left. Piece of wood coming up. Would like it to turn a little bit.
If he's able to pinch this properly with the 3-pin, it may go. Let's see. Yes, sir.
Took a while, but it was coming. Help is on the way.
Roger Beaudin. Four horsemen left, plus the 9 and the 10. Kind of an unusual leave. And an 8. Back on the head pin this time is Roger, and a solid 9-pin drop, leaving the 6. That would, although still rolling, I'm going to say it looks like it may end up frozen, and it is. No problem there. Mark number 3 for Roger Beaudin. Roger, I think, made a little remark to some of the fans here, having a little fun with them with regard to the score situation here. Oh, Big Phil.
A tough crowd here. They're telling the bowlers, it's about time to start marking, isn't it?
Dave takes the lead in the match.
Trying to make it 2 in a row with his 4-pin. He's right on it. So Mark in the 3rd.
That time he was on the head pin again, but a little to the side, and that creates the mixing action that you want. Let's see what happens here. Back on lane 31.
Oh, good looking ball going in the 1-3, and the drop of 7 is great on the spare. However, leaves himself the 4, 8, and 10. The wood doesn't seem like it's going to help. Almost have to go like the 7-pin would be standing up and just clip the 4 on that side and have everything dance across to the right. That's what he's trying to do, just a full on the 4-pin.
Dave Blaine puts a 9 in the 4th. He has taken the lead in the match. We're almost at the halfway point. Stars and Strikes continues from Park Place Lanes in Windham after these words. Roger Beaudin now to fill a spare in the 4th. Game 2. Week 2 of our 4-week series here on Stars and Strikes. Don't forget, Stars and Strikes doubles back at its original time of 1 p.m. immediately following Stars and Strikes. And today, Bill Treefel and Peter Pereira will go for their 2nd straight win. Mike Poulin and Brian Uphold will be their opponents. And how about this shot for a spare?
Oh, watch the head pin. Off the wall and back for the 9-pin. 4 horsemen goes with the ball. And 2 in a row for Roger Beaudin. And let me see, will he get away with that full hit? Well, not too bad. 6 drop on the spare. 2, 4, 7, and the 9. Piece of wood behind the 2-pin, which will help with the 9, but I'm afraid it might deflect the ball around the 4 and 7. Played it on the inside and everything but the 7.
Only 1 strike in the match so far. That was thrown by Roger Beaudin back in the first game. Don't see Dave do that very often. He missed the head pin.
1, 2, 4, 10. Both bowlers seem to be just a little in between, hitting the object pin, but just a little full or a little light, causing them to miss the shot.
The winner of this match gets Tom Morgan in our semifinal match next week.
That's the reward you get for winning. Huh? Tom Morgan. That's 3-6-10 left for Dave.
And he's got it for the spare in the 6th. He actually was fortunate on this leave because it looked for a moment like he might have the 4 and the 7 down there too, but he kicked those out and took advantage of it for the spare.
Looked like a good ball going in the 1-3 pocket, but obviously must have been just a little full because he didn't get the good mixing action, and he's going to be open again in the 7th. Was able to put together 2 spares in the 4th and the 5th.
Roger looking at the 1-2, 7 and 10 with wood, and it goes.
You see him just splitting the 1 and the 2. Headpin will take the 10 out of there, and it's a spare for Roger Beaudin. Now Dave Blaine will work on the spare in the 6th.
Four horsemen. $10.
Finally gets a break there. Kicked the 7-pin out of there and leaves just the 6 with a piece of wood in front. Should be no problem for Dave. And will match the spare already put up by Roger Beaudin.
And there it is in the 8th. Mark number 6 for Dave Blaine. All spares today. Last week he had 15 marks, 13 spares and 2 strikes. Roger Beaudin on a spare fill leaves the 10-pin.
And that ball exploded when it hit the pins because it looked like he was flush on the head pin that time, but leaves just a 10.
Ooh, wow. Roger can't believe he threw that one too far to the left.
Even where he hit it, I thought even that was enough to use that piece of wood right there that he hit to clear the 10-pin, but everything jumped up and over in that second piece. Golden opportunity for Roger there. Goes by the boards. Look at this. This always happens. It always happens.
It's the law, isn't it?
That's right. Miss an easy one. Automatic 8, 9. Oh, he missed badly to the left. So it's 2 in a row for Roger Beaudin.
Yeah, he'll have to regroup and get himself together for game 3. 112 for Roger, or 218 after 2. Dave Blaine with a 5 fill on his spare. and an $8. So the difference in the match right now is just 8.
Chance for Dave to push it into double figures, though, with a mark on the 10th. Once that 5-pin out of there, the wood came out a little further than I'm sure he first expected it. If it stays right there, he's got a shot at making the 5, 4, and the 7. Let's put the ball almost right down the center of the lane, catch the wood in the 5-pin.
Yes. So now the lead is 8 plus this ball.
You see the replay, just driving the ball straight through the pin, was lying in front of the 5 and the 4. And now the fill.
And it's 6. A 129 for Dave Blaine, a 2-game total of 232. And 14 pins is the difference. Dave Blaine and Roger Beaudin in a close one. One of these guys will move to the semifinals. We'll be back with Game 3 in a minute. All right, here we go. Game 3 and Dave Blaine with the lead. Last week he trailed coming into the third game by only 4 pins, but was able to put together a 142 and win it.
And he was sitting at 256 and he was behind. He's sitting at 232 now and he's got a 14-pin advantage. So quickly things change.
Can't convert the 3 and the 7. So it's a $10. Oh, yes. Big strike, first of the day for Dave Blaine. That was a good-looking ball right from the start.
I was going to ask you if that was his first strike. Can't remember him throwing one in this match.
Hit the Brooklyn pocket that time, which he does a lot.
I think that's attributed to, as we said, he fades a little bit to the left, so the ball comes back to the right. It might be a nice pocket for him to hit. Roger Beaudin off target again with that first ball and leaves himself the 4 horseman right plus the 8-pin. That looks good.
Oh, give it
that's
to
going
him.
to be a shame.
Oh, he got it. He certainly deserved it. Even Roger had to applaud that one.
So it looked good going down, and I'm saying it's over right here. And all of a sudden it decides to stand back up and finally goes down. And
he doesn't catch a break on the fill, though.
He really doesn't. If you caught that, there was a pin that jumped right in between the 4 or 7, never knocked either one of them down.
And it'll be a $9. So Dave Blaine comes up now with a chance to stretch out his lead a little more. Working on a strike. Again, a little high.
Both bowlers, either they're missing the head pin or when they hit it, it's full, just going right straight through the middle. And Dave is looking at 6-10 on the right, 4-7 left, and this is on a strike.
Trying to snap that over, doesn't happen. Now leads by 17 and takes the $10. The runner-up today gets a check for $175, fourth place. Winner, of course, moves into next week's semifinals against Tom Morgan. And don't forget, coming up at 1 o'clock here on The Wins, Stars and Strikes doubles for the new year. moved back to its original time slot of 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoons, right after our first show here on Stars and Strikes. $8 for Dave, with 2 opens. So an opportunity for Roger Beaudin here.
$10 for Roger, 35 through 3, and still trails by 17.
Boy.
I tell you, he's not getting any kind of breaks at all. 7 and 9, a couple pieces of wood, possibly.
Shooting for the V.
The other piece of wood never moved.
Roger takes a 10. We will take a break here on Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Dave Blaine leading by 15 in the match. We'll be right back. Well, Dave Blaine is 6 boxes away from his second straight win if he can hold this 15-pin lead. Oh, that was a great-looking ball.
And the result is even better as far as Dave's concerned. It's a strike, second one of the match now, and they both came in this game. One back in the second frame.
But back to the familiar routine this time. Full on the head pin. See if we can make something happen here on the 2, 6, 7, and 10. That piece of wood on the 2 pin at a pretty good angle.
Yeah, that's the shot. It's going to try to sweep everything from left to right. Problem may be the ball deflecting around the 7 pin.
It did.
Appreciative applause from the crowd. Recognize the fine effort.
And the 9.
Dave would have liked the spare applause, though.
Yeah, the spare applause would have been much louder.
That's right. Roger Beaudin still hanging around. He's still there, but has he put 2 in a row together? Yes, back last game. Really needs a couple now.
Actually, each bowler has been able to put marks back-to-back only once in the whole match so far. 4 horsemen plus the 10. $9 for Roger, but now the lead goes up to 25. Mark here would be big, going to the final 4. Not going to be easy though. The 1, 3, 8, 9, and 10.
Not today for Roger.
Oh, how about that? Move the wood without knocking anything down. So it's an 8 box, and Dave Blaine will carry a 26-pin lead to the final 4 boxes.
Three, 5, 6, 10. 4 pins in the right-hand corner.
Too good. Right on top of that 3-pin.
There's a 3-mark advantage right now with a 26-pin advantage. 3 big marks, possibly even 4-mark advantage. So each mark he would get would reduce Roger's chances of catching him.
Oh, big break there, kicking out the 10.
Looked like he was going to be left with a 7-10 and some help coming. That piece of wood moving will take the pin. However, it's rolling so far out now, I'm sure he'll shoot at the 7-pin.
Looks like it's going to stay out there. Watch out. And the 10 box. So an opening for Roger Beaudin.
Oh man, that ball was right in there, and look at this, the 8-10.
Oh, a great shot though.
Certainly
Roger
was.
Beaudin. Used all of the lane to the left. Let's get another look at it.
Not only great, but crucial at this point in the game. Oh, he lost it, and he knew it as soon as he let the ball go. Just 4.
The 9.85, so the difference is 22 going to the final 2. Well, Dave can put Roger in a double strike situation even without a mark of his own.
2 big marks that could just about lock him out. Two, 4, and 10 pins left.
No. $10. Let's see. Yes! Oh, that's a big mark right there. In the 10th for Dave Blaine.
A huge mark.
Well, let's see. It's still happening. 7 is the fill. For a 120 and a 3-string total 352. Some 46 pins less than what he had last week, but it may be enough to win again. Let's see. Roger Beaudin has to make a lot happen here. He must at least convert this in order to have a chance. Nope. That'll do it. Dave Blaine has made it 2 in a row. No, sometimes you win with good offense, sometimes with good defense.
You You know, if you can squeak by in a match like this or a low-scoring affair and still win, sometimes you stay on a long time. So Dave is back on his game next week. It's Tom Morgan coming in. I'd say he'll need more than this.
Roger Beaudin finishing up a rather disappointing day for him, and he's probably still thinking about those 2 single pins at the end of game 2. 321 for Roger Beaudin, 352 for Dave Blaine. Dave makes it 2 wins in a row. We'll have our bonus ball contest. Talk with the bowlers in a minute. Back on Candlepin Stars and Strikes, and we have 4th place check for $175 for Roger Beaudin. Kind of a tough afternoon. I know you've got to be thinking about what happened right there at the end of the second game.
Yeah, another frustrating day in the life of a bowler. If I didn't work so hard to get here, I'd feel guilty accepting this check. But since today is my wife's birthday, this check's going to her. Happy birthday, love.
There you go. All right, happy birthday to Janice, and thanks very much, Roger. We'll see you again. All right, Roger Beaudin. And now Dave Blaine will come up and see if he can't get us a match in our bonus ball contest. We're up to $40 this week, and don't forget, if we do have a match, both the viewer and the bowler will get a brand new set of bowling balls from Paramount Industries. Let's see what we have. We have a 6 drop, and from Mr. Murphy we have a 7 from Mrs. Dorothy Halsell from New Ipswich, New Hampshire. Good to hear from you, Dorothy. Thanks for watching the program. We'll be sending you a consolation gift from the NHCBA and from TV50. Had them all the way, right?
Another one. I got another one.
Oh, unlike last week, it seemed like last week you were in the pocket all the time.
Yeah.
Today you were punching through the middle a lot.
Still got the breaks when I needed them.
Yeah.
And that's the name of the game, I guess.
A few spares here and there, and that was enough to win. And now Tom Morgan next week.
Well, hopefully I get back in the groove for that one.
We'll see you next week.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Dave. Congratulations. And a quick word as we take a look at the ladder, because this shapes up to be a pretty interesting matchup next week. Dave Blaine, who's all of a sudden got all the experience after 2 wins, and now he faces a very experienced guy in Tom Morgan.
That's right. It's one of those you can put a notch in your belt. You can knock off the likes of Tom Morgan. It's going to be tough, though.
All right, we'll see you next week for Stars and Strikes, but don't forget, stay right here. Coming up immediately, Stars and Strikes doubles. Bill Treifel and Peter Pereira against Mike Poulin and Brian Uphold. Until then, for Dan Murphy and the whole TV50 Sports crew, Doug Brown, so long from Windham.